Hello everybody. Second video of the new channel. Today we are going to be reacting to the new Frogs Animatronics album, 808 and Tone is Lame. I have it on this format just for my convenience. The only track I have listened to is the last one, Deaththreatz, and that's only because I'm on the track. Obviously, I've listened to it, but other than that, we're going into this completely blind. Alright. 808 and Tone is Lame. So right now we are going to the first track, Demon from Hell. It's going to be interesting. So far, a very, very interesting track. I do like the layered vocal sound of it. Very nice job done from Mr. Animatronics on that. I like it, but I will continue. So that is the end of track 1. Not much to say from my initial reaction, but I do think it's very catchy. The beat's nice, and I like the vocal melodies he put in there. Very nice, very nice. Very good so far. That was Demon from Hell. We are now going on to the second track, Hobo Demon Clowns. I'm sorry for pausing, but I will say I do like the intro where he kind of introduces the idea of the Hobo Demon Clowns. It's very interesting. I've never heard that really on a song, kind of like how he did it. Kind of like how he's talking to the viewer like, hey, do you know what the purpose of the Hobo Demon Clowns are? And then it's basically the viewer going, what? What is the purpose? And then he wraps that into the song by starting the song explaining what the Hobo Demon Clowns are doing. Very interesting. I'm going to rewind a second so we can get back to the part. Again, with the layered vocals, it seems to be more intense this time. Yeah, it seems to be very much more intense with a lot of... You get your mid-range vocals, obviously, then you get the lows and the highs. I think it's a very creative decision on his part. I do like it a lot. Based on the Hobo Demon Clowns and their red eyes and blue eyes, and obviously the parts stated before, they seem like not very friendly creatures. It's very interesting. I do wonder how he did come up with this. Maybe that'll be a question for the future. Maybe it'll be answered sometime. But let's continue. Good lyrics. Ooh, Kanye West name drop. Wow. Wow. I believe that is the end of track 2, Hobo Demon Clowns from Hell. I noticed at the end he kind of switched up the vocals a lot. It shifts a lot more to the heavy highs, like the higher vocals. It's very interesting there. Kind of wrapping it up, saying that just instead of not just tone, it might come for the viewer next. It's very interesting how he incorporates the viewer into all of it. I very much like that. Okay, we're going on to track 3, LARP, LARP, LARP.
LARP, LARP, LARP's a whore. LARP, LARP, LARP's a whore. This kid totally thinks he's like the Hobo. He's like...
Initial thoughts? The vocals are higher on this one. It's instead of the layered vocals like the first 2 tracks, we hear just a single vocal. It is a different quality. It sounds like it has a bit of a filter on. Kind of scratchy, but I'm assuming that's intentional. Not sure what the purpose is, but maybe we'll figure that out. LARP, LARP, LARP Sahora seems to be a play on Toon 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 Sahora. Very funny there. But yeah, let's continue.
Really thinks he's like the Hobo. He's like... LARP-a-lero, LARP-a-la, or some shit. Like, it's just like pissing me off. Like, LARP-a-lero, LARP-a-la, LARP-a-lero, LARP-a-la, LARP-a-lero, LARP-a-la, LARP-a-lero, LARP-a-la. Yeah. Yeah. Tone is such a LARPer, he goes to the store to buy LARP.
So now, okay, buy a LARP, okay.
Store to buy LARP because he likes the roleplay. As LARP-a-lero, LARP-a-la, to Hobo. He is so mean, yo. And what the fuck is the beat running away? What the fuck is this beat? What the fuck made this beat? The fuck is running away?
Wow. That's very creative. The beat is running away from him. Wow. So he's incorporating the beat into the song. Well, obviously, but he's interacting with the beat. Wow. That is some new stuff. Wow. I'm very much liking. This is, by the way, my first impression on this artist. I'm very much liking them so far. Much newer things I haven't heard before. It's definitely like a refresher from all the old stuff. Like Kanye, perhaps. I'd say he's better than Kanye, honestly. Way better than Kanye.
LARP-a-lero, LARP-a-la, sharp blue shoes, LARPing through the sea, and he likes to eat the Jews. So do I.
Okay, that is the end of track 3, LARP, LARP, LARP. Very good. And I hear at the end where he goes, he hates the Jews, and so do I. Throwing in a bit of his takes there. Very interesting. I think everybody needs a voice like that. Very good song. Now we're going on to track 4, Tone, Why Be Lame. I did not expect that. It went from kind of a lower direction vocal to a higher vocal with auto-tune. The quality did change too, from a more treble vocal to the second one, which has more bass in it. And I do like the direction he's taken with this song, where it's more directional on tone. There are tone, like name drops of tone in other songs, but this one is straight up just tone. Name tone, talks about tone. The main focus is tone. So that's very interesting. We'll continue. Sorry to pause again, but it seems instead of like, it's like a play on KSSSING, but instead he goes DOXXING, saying they are essentially doxers. So he's dissing them, saying they're doxers, which is very interesting. Maybe we'll get some more light on that throughout the album, or even throughout this track, on maybe this doxing epidemic with Mr. Animatronics and Tone and this Carter person. Very interesting. Let's continue. Okay, so that is the end of track 4, Tone YB Lane. A lot more to unpack on that last part. Him essentially saying this Tone and Carter character have a relationship. They are, well, as he said, gay. A lot more dissing, calling them dirty hobos and all that. Starting to be more of a diss album now. It's very interesting. I like it. Track 5 is the next track. Once again, a Tone directed one. Is just called Tone. So we're going to get into that. So far, very interesting. It's a more of a distortion-based track. I think it's more of a taste track. What's the word? Aesthetic track, maybe. I do like the direction of this track too. He keeps finding new ways to surprise us, like different methods, different sound effects, different. Give it to me. Different vocal filters. This one's more of a vocal-based song, as I can hear. It's very interesting. I've never heard anything quite like this one. I do like it, though. I do like it. On this one, it's more so you don't really focus on the lyrics, but the overall, like, sound of the song. But I'm sure the lyrics have a pretty big meaning, so I'm going to listen to that. Still. Rabbis. lot to unpack so far. With that first part of the track we just listened to, I like that, again, he's very interactive with the viewer. He again goes, do you want to know? Do you want to know? I think that's a very interesting part of his whole thing, where he asks that. And then he talks about Tone dying. That's another thing to unpack. Seems there's a lot of hatred for this Tone character. Let me replay one of those parts again. So yeah, he says, I can't wait to kill Tone today, so pretty hateful there. And yeah, that is the end of track 5, Tone. Very interesting track. I do want to add, you can kind of hear some faint extra vocals around the end coming in. I think that's a nice touch, kind of brings it all together. Now let's move on to track 6, Tone's Birthday Fiesta. So a very, very different take on the album now. He changes it up with a more so, what's the word? He's taking the album in a more so cultural direction, which I do like a lot. He's talking about, this time, Tone's Birthday Fiesta pizza place, which I'm not sure if that's a real place or not, but it's interesting, an interesting direction. He goes from bad-mouthing Tone to basically talking about an establishment of his, which is very interesting. I wonder if he's going to rag on the place, maybe? Or we can only assume what's going to happen so far, but it's very interesting. And it appears to take place in Mexico. And is good with the locals there, as he said, because they have their own name for it, even. Very interesting stuff.
So fun. His mascot is Chuck E. Cheese. So skibidi. He's so cool. He's a yellow chinchilla. And he's evil at night. He becomes a killer. He's an animatronic robot like that's cracky. With one knife and red eyes. And blood ready to get me.
Wow. So basically he's throwing accusations of Tone in his, I'm assuming, robot establishment being all killers. The robots in the establishment and Antonio himself. Very interesting. Comparing it to Five Nights at Freddy's, saying they have red eyes and knives. A lot of heavy accusations here. This is a very interesting track. Wow. He's saying essentially kills the Mexican locals. Very interesting.
hold up, I want cookie, I want cookie. Toto goes to Walmart and he steals Jack's heart.
Wow, so that took a turn. A huge turn. He's basically addressing why in the first place would Tone make all that, especially evil ones, like evil animatronics and all that, and then why would Tone join in himself? And he's saying, he's basically addressing why that might be. Maybe Tone dislikes the locals of Mexico, maybe he doesn't like Mexico itself. It's very interesting. He also gets into detail about what he does, saying, like, lines where he's saying Tone is going to stab people's pancreases, or maybe it was that he did stab people's pancreases. It's very interesting. And then it says perhaps ice might be coming for Tone. So that's very interesting. So maybe he runs it out of the U.S. into Mexico. I'm assuming he makes like round trips like that. Very interesting. That would be the end of track 6, Tone's Birthday Fiesta. We are now going on to track 7, the final track, Deaththreatz featuring me, D2Z. Alright.
Yo, dude, don't wanna fuck with me, I'm dangerous, I'm from the hood, yo, don't you see, I am skibbity, I am a evil hobo. I have a gun, I have a Glock, next year I'm gonna cut out the cock, cause you are not hobo.
So a lot to unpack there. Again, like a lot of these tracks, there's a lot to unpack here. Just goes to show the lyrical genius of Mr. Frog's Animatronics. He says that Antonio should not mess with him. He's from the hood. This implying that Mr. Animatronics is a very dangerous individual. He has guns, Glocks. He's going to cut off Antonio's cock, he says. Very, very serious stuff here.
Yeah, don't fuck with me, don't fuck with me, Tone. Don't fuck with me, don't fuck with me, Tone. Don't fuck with me, don't fuck with me, Tone. I'm evil, a hobo from hell. What the hell? From hell. Tone, I'll kill you, I'll shoot you in the head, I'll make sure you are dead. Don't try me, bitch. Don't try me, hobo. We went to Epstein Island and ate a bunch of babies. Because you're a freak, you're creepy, you're a monster, you're so dead to me. Tone, you're a hobo.
So, a lot of stuff again there. He brings up the recent Epstein Island files that got released, and he incorporates Tone with them, accusing him of being there and participating in their activities. Very heavy stuff.
Goes to the store and he turns around into the grass because he gets no ass because he's a loser and he has no friend. He's going to die before the school year begins, yeah. Kill that boy, shoot him dead, yeah, I don't like you tell because you're lame. And you don't respond to my DMs.
So there we get a potential answer for the feud. Tone is not answering Mr. Animatronic's direct messages. You can only assume where, but very interesting. So maybe at one point they were well associated, but they had a falling out. Let's continue.
Yeah, Jimmy, get that boy out. Bye.
So basically there is where Mr. Animatronics signs off for the last time in the album. We will be hearing no more of him. We are now going to my part.
Antonio Lopez, a stupid loser. I will kill him because I'm a YouTuber. I hate him, he will die. I hate him like plain french fry. Haircuts dumb, shoes are lame. You should get Yeezys, top of the game. You don't know just what we'll do. Me and Kanye, World War through.
And that is the end of the album. My participation on the track, I greatly appreciate Mr. Animatronics for that. I'm not well acquainted with Tone, I just kind of joined in on him as he told me to. But yeah, that's basically it. I really enjoyed the album. It is a very, very good album. Very lyrically complicated too. I very much enjoyed unpacking all of it. The lyricism, the instrumentals were great. Great flow overall. I really do hope he releases a lot more soon. But with that being said, stay tuned for more videos, and I am signing off. This is D2Z on my second channel, D3Z. Goodbye.